Alright guys, time for a little tractor maintenance, but I must do it bad. First thing I'm going to do is I got my pressure washer, and we are going to pressure wash the engine down, the transmission down, everything. We're going to get it clean. And I'm going to give you one good reason first. You see those bolts missing? That's actually what holds the loader and the body together. There is, I'll go on the other side. As you can see, trying to find it. You can see the bolts right there, there, and there. But also, I believe I've got bolts loose underneath because I see a dirty gap, like a clean gap right in that area. So I'm thinking the whole thing is shifting as I'm using it. You get a better shot of looking at it right there. Kind of looks clean where that case meets the housing. So I think it's moving. But also, look at this. Transmission bolts are loose. So, we are going to do a major cleaning on this whole thing. Wash it down. And then we're going to bring it in the garage. And we're going to take each bolt out. The transmission bolts, all in, all out. Spray the threads clean, and we're going to put Loctite on them. I got new bolts for the other side, but it's needed. It is dirty. It's just time to do some maintenance to it. All right, well, let me get this all started up, get things cleaned up so we can see better, and we'll go from there. All right. Uh-oh. Alright. We've got it pretty much cleaned up. We'll let it sit out here for a day and drip. Engine looks good. I know one of these injectors are leaking down here somewhere. I have got the seal kit for it. It's just a matter of me finding time to do it. We'll get it in the garage and start working on it. Alright guys, how's it going? Alrighty, today is a day that I'm spending the rest of the day on getting this tractor up to snuff. There's bolts are loose, bell housing bolts loose. The front end loader assembly on the other side, bolts are missing. I've got broken bolt underneath. I have to take these all out and I'm going to clean them. Let me show you what I'm talking about where they're loose. Trying to get the camera so you can see them. But if you look, there you go. Loose. This one's way up here and it is loose. If I use the wrench, it spins. See if I can't see, you can see the wrench moving. There you go, it spins, all right? Down here, you can't see that one, but there is one down here, way underneath. Put the wrenches on it, and you can't see it, it's loose. You go to the other side, they're loose. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take each individually bolt out. Don't need a wrench to take these out. Alright, they're dirty, yucky. We're going to clean them up. I'm going to blow some brake clean in the hole, get it cleaned up. We're going to put some thread locker on this, and then we're going to screw that back in. Let me go get my spray, the Loctite, and some rags in a bucket, and we're going to start cleaning this up and putting it back together again. Hopefully we won't have to do this part ever again. Alright, you can see, let me get this here. I already got that out. It's gone. I cleaned it up, worked on it. Now what I always do is I take brake clean And I'm just going to spray in the hole. You might not be able to see it, but I am going to spray in the hole to clean the hole out, okay? If you have air hose, I would advise you take your air hose and blow that out. Let me show you the bolt. I've already got the bolt pretty much cleaned up. It was all mucky and yucky. It's cleaned, it's ready to go. And then what we'll do is, out here in a second, I'm actually going to go ahead and take this bolt out and clean that to give this one time to dry. I'm going to take this bolt out, okay, and you can see how nasty and dirty that is, and all the gunk stays right there at the threads. And all I do is just take it, wipe it down first really good, get as much of the debris off as you can. You can see how much junk is in it, the rag, how dirty it is. So what I'll do is I'll take the bolt and I'm going to spray the bolt down with the brake clean also. That's clean. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray in there. We're just trying to wash out any of the grease, whatever's in there. I do have my bucket catching the dirties. I have some Loctite. You're going to say, well, why don't you just replace your locking washer? It doesn't come off the threads, it's part of the bolt. That's one reason, as you can see, get some light on it. It's pretty much squashed, so it vibrates loose. So we're going to put some Loctite in these threads and then put it in there. Alright, I don't know if you can see it. Let me get the light better. You see all the Loctite I put on there? Alright, we're going to put it in this number 1. We're going to screw that in as far as it can go. And we're going to tighten this up. The way some of the Loctites work is when you start to get tight, you put friction on that bolt. Then that Loctite sets in. All right, we're going to do the second one. All right. We're going to screw that one in its hole. And we're hoping this Loctite will allow me not to have to do this as often or never again. So usually if one bolt's loose, all your bell housing bolts are loose. And it's this case, I think I just showed you 4 of them that are loose here. And there's, like I said, on the other side they're loose also. Alright, those 2 are done. I am going to continue to do all the other ones all the way around. You're not going to be able to see me do it, and you don't need to keep watching me do stupid stuff. But there you go. I don't know if I said this before, but diesels, these older diesels, are real bad for vibration. Really bad. They really don't have counterweights on the balancing shafts. Like in the cars, they have vibration dampeners. These don't have them. So when you see the tractor rattling, this whole body rattles. And a perfect example is those bolts on that bell housing are all loose. I've got 2 missing, I said before. I've got a broken one underneath, and they're all of the loader bolts are loose except for the 2 that's right here. Except for that one and that one. They're tight. The rest, everything's loose underneath. So let me get going on this, and we tighten up the rest of them, take them all apart, clean them up, and then we'll go from there, guys. Alright, guys. This video stopped. This is day 2 days ago. I had a blast, let's just say. Alright, we'll start with the bell housing bolts. I did find 2 bell housing bolts missing. One would have been back down there. Let me get a light. way back down in there. I don't know if you can see it, that right there. That bolt used to be, change the light again, used to be down there. Okay, where that is. Alright, I took out that bolt from there. I took out another bolt. There's a bell housing bolt underneath that is like this one. Okay, see the big round head, big heads? Okay. On this side, 2 bolts are missing. That one, and very down underneath there, show you what's down here. Back down in that way is that long bolt I just showed you, okay? What I did was I tried to put that bolt up here, and it was hard for me to control, hard for me to start, everything. So what I did do is I took the bolt, it seemed to be better, the bolt that went there, I just moved it up here, and then the new bolt I put down there, and I screwed it together. Now I did take that bolt out. There's another bolt right back in there you can't see. I took that out. They all got Loctite on them. That got Loctite on them. But problem is this one down here, that's a steel pipe. That's a steel pipe. I can put the bolt in. I can't get a wrench on it. I can't get a socket on it. Nothing. This pipe feeds the back of the high pressure, or the injection pump, goes all the way over, down through here into this transmission. Right there and into the tranny. It's all solid mount. You can't remove it unless you unbolt the whole thing for one bolt. I pulled a deal, and I'm not putting that bolt in. Is this like hours and hours of work on the ground to get this one bolt? Can't get to it, can't get a socket on it, nothing. So, alright, we're under the tractor now. Okay, if you remember me showing you the other day, on the other side of the tractor, these 2 bolts were gone. Okay, that's over there. Now, this is all the same brackets that go underneath. This is the front end loader bracket stuff. That's all attaches. Okay, let me show you what happened. I'm trying to get the camera held good. That bolt, that bolt back there, that bolt back there, which is right there. I'm going to shine a light. I can't point, but bolt back there, that was there, that is new, that back there is new, that was there. Okay, that one there, that one there, that one there, bolts were broke off. They were broke off in the transmission. This one was loose, that one was loose, no, that one was loose and that one was loose. The other had to replace. Okay. I had to drill them out. I spent basically one full day drilling these out. Had a blast. Out there. I wore out 6 drill bits trying to go through. One of them, the first one, I finally got through it and jammed an easy out through it, and it came out. Now, something to know, and I plain forgot about it. It's been a while since I've turned some wrenches. Broken bolts are very easy to get out. Studs that are broken are very hard to get out. The reason is a stud has a shoulder on it that bottoms out on the motor or whatever you're using. A bolt breaks off, and the goal is, if you can drill, in which I had them and I forgot all about it, they are reverse drill bits, and the goal is to be drilling. You drill reverse, that it hooks the bolt and pulls it out. All right, it happened my last 2. It worked until it hit that massive bracket. Because everything was loose, the bolt couldn't pass through the bracket. So I had to jack the engine up, jack the tractor up, tried that, jacked finally the front end loader. That kind of worked. I ended up having to get my engine hoist out, hook it to the tractor engine, and then pick the tractor engine up some, and then went ahead and lifted lightly up on the front end loader, the brackets, and shifted it around and kept moving it. Look who shows up. Happy. What are you doing? Huh? What you doing, babe? What are you doing? Anyway, and then I could hook it and a bolt would pass through. You talking about not a happy camper? I was nuts, you would say, yesterday. So remember, broken bolts are easy to remove if you have reverse drill bits and you are drilling and you hook it. It will unscrew that bit. But first thing I'm going to do is clean the bolt hole out really good, brake clean out, blow it out so there's no debris, and it comes out pretty easy. But the studs are your problem. Well, I didn't have studs, I have got bolts, but everything's shifted because the bolts are missing, the bell housing bolts are loose. This tractor was just bad. I didn't even know about it too much until I was using it. In fact, the day I did the driveway rescue, that's when I heard rattling. I didn't know what that meant, what that was. So anyway, talking a lot. Keep them in stock, reverse drill bits. It works fantastic on broken bolts, not studs. Studs you're going to have to drill completely through and put an easy out through it, and hopefully you can break it loose. If you can't break it loose, take a little mini torch and heat the block or whatever around it. You're only going to get one shot at it, maybe two, but you want to heat the block. What happens is it will swell, heat expands, it swell off those threads, and then you unscrew it. So anyway, guys, all right, well, that is done. Now I got to do another thing, and we've got to change the transmission oil on this. It's milky, so I need to get done. So that's going to be my next video. All right, guys, we're going to go. Sorry I couldn't show you the drill bits, me drilling. I was cussing like worse than a sailor. I wasn't happy. It wasn't a very family-oriented type video, if you know what I mean. All right, we're going to go, and let's go get this oil changed.